Welcome to the third session of our series outlining the residential experience model. In this session, we will dig deeper into the key components of each of our learning goals and brainstorm strategies for promoting learning in each area. As a reminder, we've been covering the residential experience model, or REM, which serves as Clemson's residential curriculum. When we are talking about a curriculum, we are talking about a defined and prescribed course of experiences that students must fulfill in order to achieve a certain level of education. We aim to help students reach their learning edge, where they can learn and grow without fear or too much discomfort. Our curriculum overviews what we believe students will learn and achieve as a result of living on campus. The 4 areas that we believe students learn about as a result of living with us is self-exploration, or explore, living in community, or connect, intellectual engagement, or engage, and global citizenship, or lead. As you can see in this visual, our learning goals start with the self and expand out into the world. We believe the first thing students must learn in order to be successful in college is more about who they are. As students learn about themselves, they continue on to learn more about their academic experiences and how they interact with their peers. And as they mature through all 3 of these categories, they push beyond to focusing on how they are an active citizen of the world. Self-exploration is all about identifying a sense of purpose through exploration of interests and abilities. Establishing individual values, ethics, and beliefs is a very important part of development, especially for our first-year students. The residential environment is rich with opportunities for students to discuss and learn more from one another about their identity, what they value, and what they believe. Community dialogues, opportunities to meet new people at the start of the semester, talking more with their RA, engaging in course content and campus activities, all create opportunities for students to learn and grow. As RAs and professional staff, it's our job to create additional opportunities for that self-exploration and help them process and reflect on what they've learned. Connect, or living in community, is all about meaningfully interacting and forming positive relationships with different individuals. Creating authentic, respectful, supportive, and inclusive communities is an important part of all of our residents' success. While living on campus, there are plenty of opportunities for students to learn more about being a part of a community. Every student living on campus is a part of a community and therefore is able to learn more about what it means to positively impact and influence that community. Interacting with the community through events and socials, establishing community agreements, having a roommate and establishing those roommate agreements give multiple opportunities to dig into these concepts for students in a more personalized way. Living in community helps students reflect and learn more about conflict management, respecting others' space and identities, and so much more. Engage, or intellectual engagement, is all about finding the value in lifelong learning. By utilizing resources and applying knowledge in meaningful ways with faculty, staff, and peers, students are able to be more successful academically at Clemson and hopefully beyond. We create opportunities in each residence hall for engagement with academic connections. Some students are a part of a living learning community, where academic conversations occur naturally. Other residence halls have faculty and residents, who plan opportunities for students to connect with one another about learning, and who have meaningful interactions with students on a regular basis. Some floors adopt faculty friends, who connect with students living on a specific floor, and are active contributors to the community building process. RAs and professional staff can help plan events that connect students with academic resources on campus, such as the Academic Success Center, or plan events that connect students to resources that help them connect their academic progress to their future careers, such as the Center for Career and Professional Development. LEAD, or Global Citizenship, is all about helping students to recognize their capacity for leadership and action to create positive, sustainable change that impacts their community and the world. Through working in sustainability initiatives, like with eco-reps, or leadership experiences like community council, or even the dialogue spaces created by community councils, or community dialogues, or with the peer dialogue facilitators, students will have the opportunity to practice and process what leadership means to them and how they actively contribute to the community. As you can see here, each of the goals have specific opportunities that already exist in our communities or elsewhere on campus where this learning could occur. Our role as educators is to tap into those experiences and enhance the learning opportunities by creating space for processing or for students to build off of what they've learned elsewhere. Take a minute to answer prompt 1. These 4 learning goals create a really great outline for what we believe students learn. Beyond the goals, our curriculum outlines specific learning outcomes that we hope students achieve while they live with us. Utilizing student learning outcomes and the goals help to simplify and clarify our roles as educators and community builders by creating a simple and easy to follow roadmap for our staff, both professional staff and RAs. Our learning goals are the overarching areas of student learning, but our learning outcomes get a little bit more specific. Learning outcomes are about the specific knowledge, skills, attitudes, or habits of mind that students might take with them from any given learning experience. Here are the specific learning outcomes we have for the learning goal of self-exploration and the learning goal of living in community. As you can see, these learning outcomes point to the observable knowledge, skills, attitudes, or habits that a student may have as a result of something they've learned. They are a little bit more specific than our learning goals and help our professional staff, campus partners, and RAs plan learning experiences that meet students at their learning edge. The learning outcomes help us demonstrate learning through time. Our learning outcomes are sequenced to build off of one another so that the opportunities we provide students for learning grow over their experience with us. Learning opportunities for students' first semester are a little different than their fifth semester. In theory, the experiences we provide students throughout the year build off of one another to create a more cohesive and integrated experience. Here are the specific learning outcomes for intellectual engagement and global citizenship. As you can see, the learning outcomes are spaced out a little differently here. In these two learning goals, more learning occurs in semesters 3, 4, and 5. RAs and professional staff working with upperclassmen communities should know that their students may not need to focus as much on self-exploration components like identifying social identities or examining personal values. Perhaps these RAs and professional staff can focus more of their educational energy on the learning outcomes specific to the semester in which their students are currently in. Each learning outcome can be achieved in multiple ways. Each student's experience is unique to them, and each student experience is going to be different. Where one student might learn more about their social identities during a community dialogue, another student might learn more about those identities during a community agreement. Our professional staff and RAs can use our learning outcomes to identify where learning is achieved. Depending on the learning outcome, we are likely to see learning represented through conversations in which students debrief an experience, or we might see learning achieved if they are attending an event or using new resources. With our learning outcomes, everyday experiences become easy opportunities to contribute to learning. Take a minute to answer prompt 2. To achieve our learning outcomes, we utilize educational strategies. Our next session will overview these strategies more in depth, but before you head to that session, take a minute to answer the third prompt.